What's up, smarty people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you'd have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, interesting facts from interestingfacts.com. Man, I like that website. Got so many interesting facts. Check it out. The moon has glass beads that may contain billions of tons of water. Yeah, billions of tons of water on the moon. If humans hope to one day colonize the moon, a few things that are absolutely necessary for our survival. Chief among these necessities is water. We can't live very long without it, because Earth is nestled in the life-supporting comfort of our sun's Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. Water can be found on its surface in abundance. But what about the moon? In the late 2000s, various space missions discovered hydration on the moon, but it wasn't clear if it was the water on or a related molecule called hydroxyl. In 2020, NASA finally confirmed that water is distributed across the lunar surface, but a potentially game-changing discovery arrived in 2023 after the Chinese Chang'e, maybe Chang apostrophe E. I'm gonna have to learn how to say that. The Chinese Chang'e lunar 5 lunar mission discovered that small glass sphericals, also known as impact glasses or microtetrates, contained H2O, possibly some 330 billion tons of it on the lunar surface. That's exciting. These water-filled beads are formed in a complex process of space chemistry that's kick-started by meteorites slamming into the moon at hundreds of miles per hour. The spheres contain oxygen that reacts to ionized hydrogen in solar winds to form water. This is potentially a huge boon for future astronauts, whether NASA or otherwise, who hope to establish a moon base, as these widespread water-filled spheres can be boiled and then cooled to extract potable, that's drinkable, water vapor. And so while the moon's dull and lifeless surface may seem inhospitable to human habitation, with every new discovery, our celestial neighbor is looking more and more welcoming. Here's a few more tidbits of information to add to that really cool news about water on the moon. Number of moons it'd take to equal the radiance of the sun, 398,110. Diameter in miles of Theia, a planet that smashed into Earth and formed the moon 4.51 billion years ago. 3,792 miles across. That was a big planetoid or planet. Wow, Theia. All right. Dutch astronomer Michael van Legren first hypothesized that water might exist on the moon, 1645. So back in the 17th century, they were thinking, is there water on the moon? Is there water on the moon? Is that a good Dutch accent? I don't know. NASA hopes to have a permanent human settlement on the moon, 2030. That is not that long away. Unless you're listening in the future, then it wasn't that long in the past. What happened? Were they right? Here's a little bit more tidbits of information to fill your head with knowledge. The Earth goes through its own kind of lunar phases, but in reverse. Since time immemorial, humans have been captivated by the phases of the moon. Ancient societies constructed entire calendars based on its 29.5 day-long cycles. And we've even given specific names to every full moon that occurs throughout the year. But these phases aren't exclusive to Earth's only satellite. When Apollo astronauts viewed the Earth from the moon, they experienced our terrestrial home's own special mix of phases, but in reverse. So when Earthlings experienced a full moon, astronauts saw a new Earth, and vice versa. Although Earth phases are similar to the moon's, experiencing full, new, and all of the various crescent shapes in between, there are some differences. The moon, for example, is tidally locked, so we always see the same lunar face. But the Earth isn't similarly constrained, so it appears to any lunar inhabitants as a constantly changing orb. Also, because the moon orbits the Earth, it moves across our sky. But the Earth, when viewed from the moon, would appear to stay in the same spot. So in the far future, or even within the next decade, when future astronauts glimpse the Earth from their lunar space station, they'll experience something both new and familiar. That's pretty cool. I like these facts. I do. The moon has glass beads that may contain billions of tons of water. How about that? You have any interesting facts? Pass them along. Email me at KeysDAN@AOL.com and put in the subject line, interesting facts. Maybe I'll read some on a future installment of What Makes You Smarter. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Smarter. If you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace.